Be still for a moment, my child. Heaven has paused everything to reach you in this very hour. A silent call is crossing the distance between my heart and yours. The veil is thin right now. Your life's chaos has been pushed aside to make room for one distinct voice, my own. This window is quite large. It won't be open for very long. I'm pleading with you to give me every single one of these moments, from the first to the last word. Don't look away. More important than anything you have heard in a long time is what I have to say to you today. I have previously attempted to contact you. You are aware of this, even if you've never spoken it aloud. There were faint murmurs that were inexplicable, subtle prods that appeared out of nowhere, dreams that seemed too real, conversations that lingered in your memory for days after they concluded. You've woken up in the middle of the night, wide awake and with your heart racing, knowing that something was going to change. You were standing in the middle of a typical day when a realization that was anything but typical came over you. A sudden silence has descended upon your chest. A pull you couldn't identify. It wasn't fear. That was me trying to get through the cacophony of your days. But each time you turned away, you referred to it as stress. You attributed it to anxiety. You wrote it off as a trick of the weary mind. And the word I had prepared for that precise moment in your life, the word bearing your name, went unheard. Listen to me now. I'm not telling you this to make you feel bad. I'm telling you so you can see why today is unique. I've planned everything for today so you won't miss me. You haven't been drawn away by any interruption. This moment has not been broken by an urgent matter. It's not a coincidence. I personally guarded this hour. I'm talking to you, not a crowd. So pay close attention. Not to so many. To you. The person whose heart is currently beating a little more quickly. The person who senses something stirring but is unable to describe it. Even when your mind is still debating whether or not to believe, your spirit knows my voice. I have 2 words to share with you today. One is a correction, and since you must hear it in its entirety, I won't soften it. The other is a promise that surpasses anything you have ever dared to ask for. Both are accurate. They're both for you. Additionally, both demand that you remain with me until I finished speaking. Yes, I'm being firm today. You might not be accustomed to the fire in my voice. Don't misunderstand it. A father does not love his child if he remains silent as the child approaches a precipice. I can't contain my love for you. The evidence of it is my firmness. Heaven took notice of something that had recently occurred. You understand what I mean already. Something within you is responding even as you hear these words. This message is not giving you a thought. Even though you feel a gentle tug, what your heart has been carrying for days is being confirmed by my spirit. You've been wondering why you don't feel at ease. Why has your mouth felt heavier during your prayers? Why have you been plagued by a low level of restlessness throughout the day? It was nothing, you told yourself. It was not insignificant. I was putting pressure on your heart, preventing you from moving forward without hearing from me. But before you do anything else, realize this. I'm not here to condemn you. You are crushed and left in the dirt by condemnation. My correction is lifted. It grabs your hand, spins you around, and returns your feet to firm ground. There's a distinction. You'll notice the difference in your bones by the time I'm done talking. Correction is only one aspect of this. There is a door beyond this harsh word. I've been waiting for you. Behind it is a favor you did not deserve. A restoration you no longer anticipated, and a tranquility so profound that it will initially seem strange. I'll tell you everything. However, only one road leads to the door, and the truth is a part of that path. So let me ask you directly, will you stay? Will you allow me to express both the difficult and the lovely in the same hour? When my voice ceases to flatter them, many people start to back away. However, you remain here. That makes me happy because it reveals something about your heart. It indicates to me that you are not seeking solace on your own. You're searching for the truth. And a heart is a heart that can accept the truth. I am able to trust great things. You are unaware of how uncommon that is. It has been absent from kings. Just by staying, you are demonstrating it right now. The hours that lie ahead of you are not the same as those that lie behind you. Already something is moving. I'm working while you listen. You can't see the pieces being positioned. You are standing on the brink of what I started planning long ago, and it is approaching its scheduled time. Don't rush through this moment the way you've rushed through the others. Allow it to slow you down. Allow it to sink into the depths where you truly reside, beneath the surface where you act for other people. I don't talk about the surface. I talk to the true you, the only one I know completely. So, my dear, inhale deeply. Let go of everything you were holding when you heard this word. The assignments will wait. The anxieties will wait. My voice, your heart, and the sincere space between them are all that exist. For the time being, everything starts to change at that point. Since the weight of truth does not diminish with delay, I will start with the hard word, and the promise will mean more than it could have otherwise once the hard word has done its job. That's how I operate. The fruit comes after the root. The blessing comes after the turning. If you are certain that this word has found the right person, say Amen aloud. Hear the harsh word now. Your own heart told you not to make the decision you did. You knew there was a line you had crossed. Heaven witnessed it and recorded it. When it occurred, I wasn't silent. Even though you could feel my hesitation pressing against your will at that precise moment, you continued. Take your time defending yourself. Don't use the justifications you've been practicing. I already know them, and I am aware of the reality that lies beneath them. This is not the time to argue. It's for honesty and right now. That's all I need from you. Recognize what truly transpired, as it did not start where you believe. Your hands weren't the starting point. It started with an idea. You gave a thought that didn't bring me peace, a place to live, rather than rejecting it. It was fed by you. You knew it should end, but you allowed it to stay past the hour. That meager stipend grew silently. The idea turned into a leaning. The leaning turned into a choice. The choice turned into an action. And that action unlocked a door that ought to have remained closed in the invisible world. Although the door was hidden from view, you could feel the draft passing through it. You still feel that chilly, unsettling feeling in your soul. It always operates in this manner. Nobody falls all at once. Each of them is easily explained away as they drift by tiny amounts. Ignoring one silent warning makes it easier to ignore the next. The hearing dulls year by year. You had chosen that course, which is precisely why I interrupted you today. My rage is genuine, but listen to what it's directed at. You are not the target of it. The path, the object that reached out to you and the gradual collapse are its targets. Further down that road, I could see people waiting. When a shepherd notices a wolf circling, they don't whisper. He yells, "My voice is sharp today, like a shepherd's cry, and it's for your safety." Please know that every seed you plant in this mission grows into a torch that shines in someone else's darkness. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. But more than your support, we want your presence. When you head to our community through the link in the description or the pinned comment, you aren't just visiting a site. You are entering a community of like-minded believers. This is a sanctuary where you can post your prayer requests, lift up the burdens of others, and engage in daily discussions with a family that speaks the language of faith. Whether you are joining one of our membership tiers for deeper study, sowing a seed of faith, or simply joining our daily morning prayers, you are helping us build a global altar of worship. Heaven moves through willing voices, but it grows through a community that stands together. Each gift you give acts as living water for those in our community seeking healing and hope. Give and it will be given to you is the promise that sustains our shared mission. I invite you now to step out of the shadows and into this circle of prayer. Come with purpose. Join the conversation and plant your seed in fertile ground. Let's open the heavens together. Release your seed today. Join our community and see what God brings back into your life. I want you to focus on another thing. I don't correct things that don't mean anything to me. A farmer has given up on the field he ignores. He anticipates a harvest from the one he walks, prunes, and clears. Because you are important, you are being corrected. The strongest proof that I haven't let you go is this firm word. Let me also explain what this error did not accomplish. Your call was not cancelled. It didn't diminish your value in any way. It didn't lessen my love for you or cause me to turn away from you. Your direction was altered, and I've come to correct that. A person who takes the incorrect route is not worthless. He's just going somewhere, and I won't let you go. However, don't let that ease lead you to act irresponsibly. Your actions were important. It stopped the progress I was making in your life. You instantly sensed the change within where clarity turned to haze and tranquility became uneasy. Even though your mouth remained silent, your spirit was speaking the truth. The error itself is not the biggest threat you are currently facing. It's pride. This word is for someone else. Pride will tell you. Pride will tell you that it wasn't that serious. That everyone does it and that you can handle it by yourself. Stronger souls than you have been taken to places they never came back from by pride. Today, don't let it speak for you. As you hear this, you feel a weight on your shoulders. I am aware that you sense it. It's not intended to break you. It is intended to awaken you. Conviction is a mercy and it is the weight of conviction. Conviction says this is the problem while confusion goes around in circles. Take care of this. I've made it very clear because I won't allow you to overlook it. You now have a choice which I will state clearly. You can listen to me, humble yourself and allow me to guide you back. Alternatively, you could harden, turn away, and continue on your own. I won't coerce you. You have never been coerced by me. However, I'll be honest with you about the second road. It results in silence, and in the dark, silence is a bad guide. I can tell which way your heart is going by the fact that you are still paying attention. I care more about that leaning than I did about the stumble. I'm not looking for people who never fall. I'm looking for the people who turn and stop mid-step when they hear my voice. Even though it seems insignificant, you are turning right now. I can see it. Recall the shepherd king who suffered far more than you. He covered up what wasn't his. And for a while he referred to this as covering peace. However, he did not protest when my word eventually cornered him. In 4 words, he declared, "I have sinned against you," and mercy that his crown could never have bought was made possible by that betrayed honesty. I want those 4 words from you. Just the plain truth spoken from the plain heart with nothing concealed behind your back. Not a show of grief or unending self-punishment. Every restoration in my people's history has started there, and yours will follow suit. I still have a lot to show you. I'll walk you through the process of shutting the open door. In order to prevent this stumble from controlling you in the future, I will reveal the pattern behind it. I'll tell you what I've been waiting to pour into your life once everything is clear. Remain with me. The turning has already started. Talk softly. If you accept this correction with an open heart, I'm listening. I'll now walk you through each step of the way back. So, please don't skip any. The road home is shorter than you think, but you have to walk it honestly or you won't walk it at all. Being honest with yourself is the first step. Give a detailed account of what transpired without offering any justifications. Don't make it smaller or dress it up. The ability to hide in the shadows is diminished when something is confronted with light. What remains concealed maintains its hold. You will feel its hold start to loosen as soon as you bring it all out in front of me. Let go of the voice in your head that keeps telling you why it happened. Justification is a chain dressed as a comfort. You are bound to the thing as long as you defend it. What cuts the rope is honesty. I don't need to win an argument with you. All you have to do is tell me the truth which I already know and have overcome. The second step is to intentionally, not carelessly, return your focus to me. Don't just think about me as you think about the weather. Come to me intentionally. Talk to me honestly using your own words just like you would a trusted father. After that, remain motionless and allow the stillness to work slowly and deeply. Something will change in that silence. It will be as obvious to you as the wrong turn. There will be less draft from that open door. The restless swirling will stop. That's the sound of a door shutting with your heart in agreement and my hand on the latch. In a thoughtful moment, what was opened in a careless one is closed. The third step is the one that most people decline. You have to give yourself forgiveness. Forgive yourself instead of excusing yourself. There's a distinction. After repentance, guilt that persists is not devotion. It ties you to a situation I've already handled and is a burden I never asked you to bear. I'm not keeping this from you. Don't keep it to yourself. Who are you to keep yourself in chains if I have set you free? Raise your head. My mercy, not your suffering, has settled the account. Your grief served its purpose and had its moment. Its hour is now over. Moving on from the past is no longer a sign of humility. I'm asking you to put it down because it is unbelief. I have one more request for you, and it has to do with your trust before I talk about what comes next. As gold is placed on the scales of this calling, my child, I am asking you to place a portion of what you have, something of actual weight, on the altar of this work. Let it be an offering placed on stone, a seed planted in deep water and not suppressed by fear. This demonstrates that your heart no longer clings to lack and that you trust me to provide. What you let go of in your faith stays in your life. It advances into the harvest ahead of you. I'm getting ready. Remember the widow I once observed at the treasury. Others felt nothing and gave from their abundance. Heaven still talks about her because she gave 2 tiny coins, which was all she had. I was never moved by the quantity. The open hand was the culprit. A heart that has stopped protecting itself from its own Father is said to have an open hand. I am currently forming that same open hand in every aspect of your life. A hand that is capable of releasing is also capable of receiving. For this reason, the promise and the correction come together in a single word. Your hands are stripped of what was never yours by the turning. They are filled with what was always there thanks to the blessing. Knowing the difference between an error and a pattern is crucial because it affects everything that comes after. One stumble on the road is considered a mistake. When a pattern is traversed so frequently that the feet stop asking where they are going, it becomes a road unto itself. The deeper thing I am healing today is that although what happened to you was a stumble, I saw the pattern emerging beneath it. You had previously experienced this internal reluctance and overcome it. Even now you recall the other times. They all seemed insignificant, but little concessions are also seeds. Additionally, they grow as faithfully in the dark as good seed does in the field. While the root is still shallow, I am pulling this one up. That's not being harsh. That's a gardener who understands the potential of the plant. Therefore, do not just express regret for the deed. Keep an eye on the doorway it entered. Observe how quickly your mind wants to get away from this word. Divert your attention. Switch topics or check on something else. It is no coincidence that you are restless. Every time distraction takes the place of introspection, growth is delayed until the lesson has fully settled into you. Stay in the present. And be aware that the deliberate moment has now closed what the careless one opened. I've shut the door. I've stopped the churning. The sentence you were serving against yourself has been lifted by me. You are no longer on trial. There is a difference and you are in training. A prisoner besides their time. A son is being prepared for the future. My voice's function changes from this point on. What was intended has been accomplished by the correction. I'm starting to rebuild now. And I'll start with the one ability that could have saved you all of this. The ability to distinguish my voice from everyone else. Pay close attention. You will be protected for the rest of your life by what I teach you next. It's easy to find my voice. Only drowning is simple. I give a gentle prod before making a choice. I speak with an abrupt caution for no apparent reason. Instead of speaking under pressure, I speak in the thought that comes to me calmly. You don't realize how many times you've heard me. The current task is to become so familiar with that voice that it is impossible for a counterfeit to mimic. I want you to hold this first mark of my voice for the rest of your life. Peace is carried by my guidance, not always ease and comfort, for I occasionally ask difficult questions. However, even my harsh words land on solid ground. You can move when there is peace. Stop where you are when the calm returns. Peace is more than just an emotion I give you. I use it as a signal to communicate. You've previously sensed that signal. In the exact moment we've been talking about, you felt it depart. You moved despite the churning after a moment of stillness. Never again consider that churning to be a mood that should be endured. There is a watchman on the wall, and when he yells, the gates should be closed without protest. A second mark is present. My voice takes the lead. It doesn't push. I almost never feel the pressure that says no. Quickly, before you think, before you pray, I made time and I'm never late. Something for me that is true endures a pause. Counting on your haste is something that cannot endure a pause. And anything that depends on your haste is afraid of your clarity. Thus, incorporate a pause into your life. Take a moment to remain motionless and ask me before you decide, respond, or take a step. An hour is not necessary for every pause. Sometimes the fog can be cleared with just one sincere breath. The area where that pause ought to have occurred is where the error we dealt with today occurred. From now on, treat that area as you would a treasure, because that is what it is. Your attention is the gate to your entire life. So pay attention to what I have to say. You are shaped by everything you see. Whatever you starve weakens, and whatever you feed grows. You are surrounded by voices and influences that appear innocuous at first glance. However, they all leave behind residue which accumulates. You've been slowly veering off course due to some of the things you've let close to you lately. I don't want you to be afraid of the world. I want you to keep the gate open. Ask one straightforward question of everything that needs your attention. Does this make me closer to my dad or farther away? The answer will appear surprisingly quickly. You've known all along. Decision, not discernment, has been lacking. I'll let you know which things need to be avoided. Don't lament them. This isn't a loss. It is pruning, and branches intended to produce more fruit are pruned. Never go to completed branches. The vine does not shrink when the vine dresser cuts. It is ready. Keep an eye on what you say to yourself when no one else is around. I have never been harsher than that inner voice. And it has been harsher to you than any enemy. Whereas I refer to you as my child, it calls you a failure. I've already thrown that record away, but it keeps repeating your worst day. As of right now, respond to that voice with my words. Allow your thoughts to be refreshed until they reveal the truth. Because that is the true nature of transformation. A mind gradually retrained to agree with heaven rather than an accumulation of effort. Your decisions flow naturally like a will following the road. When your thoughts are in line with my truth, I start inside because of this. The stream is clean when the spring is fixed. I want to restore the flavor of discipline because it has soured for you. Restraint is not the same as discipline. There is nothing more to discipline than consistency. It is making the same moral decision on the dull gray days as you did on the bright ones. Nobody strays into stability. I'm building it in you right now. One moment at a time. At first, you won't feel strong in this. That is not a failure. Rather, it is expected. This type of strength develops in the same way as an oak. It doesn't make noise or have any particularly dramatic days. But once the years have done their work, it becomes immovable. The root gets deeper each time you stop and ask me. The trunk thickens each time you turn away from the incorrect voice. Don't hate slow growth. Understand the deeper purpose that underlies all of this training. Slow growth is the kind that holds. I'm not trying to make you weary. I'm trying to be clear. You have actual moments ahead of you that are already marked on your life's calendar where a single choice will have a significant impact. Doors that need to be entered immediately will remain open. There will be more doors that need to be turned down right away. The skill you are now learning will be worth more than silver on those days. This explains why the correction was made at that particular time. Not because your error was too serious to be forgiven. However, the future I have planned for you is too wonderful to stray from before the harvest. Not during it a dull blade is sharpened. Think about the sharpening today. If you look for it, you can already sense the difference. My words have been washing over you while your thoughts have calmed. The mist you brought into this hour has cleared. These words did not accomplish that clearing on their own. When a heart turns back toward home, this is what always occurs. Peace enters behind alignment and doesn't need to be begged. Don't let the day take away your current feelings. Instead, hold on to them. This clarity is not a guest. It is intended to coexist with you. You'll be prepared for the big decisions when they arise if you start with the little ones that no one notices. The years have been a silent wound between us, so I must now talk about them. You no longer ask questions aloud. I heard them even though you covered them up with courtesy in your prayers. Why is it taking so long? Why me and not them? Why do people who have never looked for you seem to run past me while I remain motionless? You observed those who began much later than you. With a pain hidden behind your smile, you applauded their festivities. Your voice remained steady as you bestowed blessings upon them. After that, you returned home and sat in silence, wondering what was wrong with you. I witnessed each and every one of those nights. I paid close attention to every one of them. And those weren't the only difficult nights. There were nights when you questioned whether you had heard me incorrectly all those years ago. On certain nights, you flipped the old pledge over in your hands like a coin that you could no longer spend. The path to a bigger life seemed to have disappeared, so you considered settling for a smaller one. You never used those exact words. You didn't need to. Let me now address the unanswered questions in the same straightforward manner that a father responds to an adult child. There was never a delay. I wasn't anywhere else for a single day during those years. And there was never a rejection due to the delay. You used my silence as a yardstick. It was more akin to the quiet of a craftsman who was too hunched over his work to speak. Imagine a field that is left fallow during a protracted winter. It appears to be doing nothing to the untrained eye. It is carrying out some of the most significant tasks of its existence. The earth relaxes and heals. What was depleted is restored. And when the time for sowing finally arrives, that peaceful field surpasses every acre that never experienced its quiet season. Your years of concealment weren't wasted. The years were fallow, and the disparity is as great as the harvest. Consider the construction of a great house as well. There is nothing to be proud of for months. Before the work ever goes upward, it goes downward. Deep incisions into invisible ground. Where no visitor will ever look is a stone set below. When a bystander notices a hole, they call it a failure. When a foundation is seen, the builder refers to it as wisdom. The invisible work must take longer. If the walls are intended to rise higher, use that rule to calculate your years of obscurity. Then go back and read them. You mourn the doors that shut on you, the ones you hammered until your hands hurt. You've been grieving for some of them for years. However, I could see what was behind those doors since I was on the other side. You would have entered seasons that would have cost you far more than the waiting ever did if some of them had opened. I opened them without fail. I declined to. Only later on will you be able to see the love that exists in a refusal. Let go of the people who ran past you. Their harvest is not yours and their road is not yours. When wheat is harvested first, a vine is not jealous. Everybody is brought in at their designated time and the later group is not the inferior one. Frequently the opposite is true. The longest ripening fruit lasts the longest. Let that ease your heart regarding all the names that have ever caused you pain. Since you were unable to view the ledger, this is what those years really produced. They gave you compassion that comfort could never have given you. Now that you are familiar with that seat, you see the overlooked. They developed an endurance that resists breaking under the first unfavorable wind. Those who were filled early never had to learn how to trust me with empty hands. These are not awards for consolation. These are precisely the tools needed for the task at hand. I want you to hear the name of one more thing that the long road proved. You remained. You were bent, inquisitive, exhausted, and occasionally barely able to stay. Are you aware of how uncommon that is? Many people left me because of less serious setbacks than yours. You repeatedly carried yours into my presence and spoke to me from underneath it. Such faithfulness is not overlooked by heaven. Nothing is ever lost when it is written. And now I'm going to tell you what this entire day has been leading up to. Follow season is coming to an end, not winding down over many years. The field has had enough time to rest after curing. The foundation will support the weight for which it was dug. No hand in heaven or on earth can stop what I started before you ever knew to ask for it. And it will arrive at its appointed hour. The correction could not wait because of this. This is the reason my voice has been so fiery and why I interrupted you today of all days. In the middle of a long level road, a man might drift and lose very little. At the bend, he must not drift. My child, you're at the bend. Everything I've taught you in this hour, honesty, pausing, guarded gates, and steady discipline was appropriate for what's right in front of you. I am aware that the years have made your heart wheeze at the prospect of hope. I am aware that you have repeatedly braced yourself before getting back up. Therefore, I'm not asking you to develop an emotion. I'm requesting something both much larger and much smaller. You can believe me in the same way that a sailor trusts a star he cannot touch. I rely solely on the power of my voice to overcome the evidence of the years. State. If you are prepared to believe me over the years' worth of evidence, then listen to what's about to happen. Because I always tell my kids what to look for before sending them toward the horizon. There are 3 streams of the blessing that I have prepared. Pay close attention to each one so that you can identify my hand when they get to you and not refer to it as luck. Sudden favor is the first stream. At this point, doors that you have never knocked on start to open. You'll give something small with no expectations and it will come back to you with the yes you've been waiting for. In just one sentence, a seemingly routine conversation can become the connection your path needed. You will know why people who have never noticed you are thinking about you. I put myself before my kids in rooms they haven't yet entered. I call their names in the same way that a farmer turns water into a dry channel. I incline hearts. One chosen moment will force open what years of effort could not. Don't hesitate at the threshold when it occurs. Acknowledge it. Express gratitude and proceed. Restoration is the second stream and it goes deeper than you might think. Items that were taken from you are returning, but not in the same way. They come back stronger, just like seeds do when they are harvested. I am paying back the seasons that the devourer devoured. That isn't poetry. It is a pledge that bears your name. Your buried dreams will come back to life. You once carried a vision that was buried years ago due to circumstances. After lamenting it, you moved on. However, buried objects have a way of becoming planted objects in my hands. It is rising once more, but this time it does so in a more mature form that fits your current identity rather than your initial dream self. You will also find some mendings. A silent voice might speak up. Unexpected words, an apology, a softening, or an open door where a wall once stood could appear out of nowhere. Recognize the limits of this commitment. Not everything you have lost, but what I ordain I restore one day. You will also thank me for removing what was taken from your life as a form of protection. However, what is on your path will eventually find its way back. You'll be most surprised by the third stream because you've been without it for so long that you've forgotten how it tastes. Profound calm. You now refer to the tight band you've worn across your chest for so long as normal. The knot under your ribs that never comes loose. The nighttime thoughts that circle your bed like unlending birds. Now that I'm talking about it all, I'm telling you that it's not your inheritance. The change will first become apparent to you in subtle ways. When you wake up in the morning, the fear that usually greets you won't be there. Like weather that no longer affects the house. A situation that once took hold of your entire body will pass over you. You'll wait for the old fear to show up on time. But it won't. My presence will be that absence. And the voice that has been following you for years, accusing you of being too late, too flawed, and too far behind its time is up. We won't argue our way to silence. A more genuine voice will overpower it and say what I have always said over you. I own you. It's your call. Nobody who walks in step with me is behind me. So, you are not. Now, pay attention to what I say about the timing. I won't make you wait in a hazy manner like you have in the past. Before this current season ends, keep an eye out for the first signs, not all of your harvest at once. That is not how harvests arrive. However, the first fruit, the early warning, the unmistakable touch of my hand that indicates your life's weather has changed. Remember this hour when you see it, and keep in mind that I gave it a name before it happened. And keep in mind the purpose of wells when the streams start to flow. This blessing is not intended to help you construct a higher wall around a larger home. You are the conduit for it. Some people in your immediate vicinity are still in the midst of their own protracted winter. You will be able to identify souls because you have been in their shoes. Give them hope. Give as you have been given. I consider what you pour out for my supply to be poured out to me, and I owe no one anything. My kingdom has always operated in this manner. Give freely what you have received. The standard you apply to others also applies to you. Run over, shake together, and apply pressure. Too much time has passed for you to hoard. Allow your wealth to inspire generosity in the same way that your hunger inspired compassion. Additionally, the stream above your field will never dry up. One word of caution, and take it as gently as I say it. The old pattern will resurface when favor is bestowed swiftly. It will let you know that you don't need to stop, be quiet, or come back to me every day. Hands that are full drift more readily than those that are empty. Israel, who had held on to me during lean years, forgot me during fat ones. Don't tell their story again. Maintain the same closeness to the harvest that you discovered during the famine. Furthermore, this blessing won't turn into a trap. Because, my dear, the streams were never the aim. The fountain was always the objective. Favor is a poor God and a good servant. Choose me if you ever have to decide between what fills your hands and what fills your soul. You will discover that you have gained nothing valuable by selecting me. The genuinely fortunate all possess this secret. With the exception of my hand, they hold everything lightly. Now it's almost all said. There is still one truth, the most profound of them all. This word came to you today because it crossed heaven. It has to do with what I am sending you to do and who you are to me. Get the last of it by staying with me a little while longer. The final truth is as follows, and it is the foundation of all the other words I have said today. You've been selected. Not in a sense favored, not just put up with. Not one face lost in a sea of faces. Selected specifically by name for a purpose that is unique to your life. Heaven interrupted your day for this reason. This kind of message is never sent to an unimportant person. Just because you've heard the word used cheaply somewhere doesn't mean you should ignore it. Being selected is not an ornament. It's a task. On this earth, there is work that bears your name. Well done. Ready for you to enter beforehand. This word's ultimate goal was never to provide comfort. It's commissioning. Consider the people I've previously selected and draw strength from the pattern. A stuttering runaway to appear before a monarch. When the prophet visited the home, a shepherd boy was disregarded by his own father, a fisherman whose bravery failed him to feed my flock in a public courtyard. I've never gone with polished. After selecting the willing, I polish myself. Frequently, it was the very corrections they believed would render them ineligible. That's what happened today. You believed that this hour of correction demonstrated that you were no longer in my favor. It demonstrated the opposite. I don't sharpen the tools I've set aside. I don't trim vines. I've written it off. Today, the fire of my voice was not the fire of rejection. It was the fire that a refiner keeps near the silver that he plans to use. I've now placed the charge in front of you. Leave this hour in a different state than when you arrived. Maintain the integrity we established today. Don't allow anything to resurface inside of you. Maintain the pause. Make no important decisions without first consulting me. Maintain the gate of your focus. Feed only what you wish to develop and remain receptive to both giving and receiving. There will be tests. I have never lied to you, so I won't pretend otherwise. One day, the old thought will return to the old door, dressed in new clothes and speaking softly. There will come a time when you will feel compelled to act before you have had a chance to listen. These don't indicate that I'm not there. They are the tests that come after every real lesson. And since you won't be the same person when you take them, you will pass them. Do what you have learned when those times come. Quit. Take a breath. Before you take a single step, turn your heart toward me and wait for the steadiness. Proceed if peace prevails. Even if everyone thinks you're a fool for standing, remain motionless if peace is restored. I have never once let someone down who was waiting for me. And I won't start with you. And don't disappear from me for weeks like you used to when you stumble, even if it's an upright stumble. That is the outdated pattern and it is no longer relevant. Come right away. If you can come in the middle of the fall, I haven't locked the door between us and I never have. I have more affection for a child who runs home right away with the truth in his mouth than for one who hides until the shame fades. Keep an eye on your behavior around other people as well. The chosen don't grovel or strut. They have the calm assurance of those who know who they are. Allow the mercy you receive today to season your speech. Be quick to cover what mercy can cover, slow to reveal what others conceal, and first to give hope to those who the world has counted out. They'll be familiar to you. Yesterday, you were one of them. There will be people close to you, people you pray for, people you love, and people whose names you have mentioned to me more frequently than your own. Every mention of them has reached me. I don't misplace anything entrusted to me. It is not your job to save them. It will serve as their landmark, a living response that is visible to them and tangible evidence that the arduous journey is worthwhile. Certain words are preached. The greatest ones are experienced firsthand. As this awakening grows inside you, know that helping with this mission is not a joke. It is a sign from God. You can support this work through the link in the description or the pinned comment. Whether by buying a copy, making a donation, or becoming a member of our COEF community. By doing so, you become part of Jesus' plan to save souls who are still stuck in fog. Every seed turns into light that fights against darkness. If you water others, you will be watered yourself. Jesus says, this is not history. It is a living promise about your future. Come into this moment with faith and a plan. What God has already planned for your life can be unlocked through your giving. Let me now collect everything so that nothing I've given you today falls to the ground. The incorrect turn is acknowledged and covered. The open door has been closed and sealed. Beneath it, there is a named and broken pattern. The years that embarrassed you were appropriately described to you as a solid foundation and follow-through. Rather than as a failure, the three streams peace, restoration, and favor are on their way. And before this season ends, the first proof appears. Above all, the assignment is genuine. And you have been selected. That's the entire word. What's left is the living of it. And the living starts the instant my voice stops speaking in the first tiny decision you make. The first moment you pause. And the first sincere sentence you say to me in your own words tonight. Start there. Start small. Just as I met you here, I will meet you in it. And you will know how to respond if the dark ever tries to convince you that this hour never happened and that it was all in your head. When you heard these words, recall how your heart burned inside of you. Recognition was that burning. You recognized my voice today from the first sentence to this one, just as sheep recognize the shepherd's voice. So, my dear child, get up now. Raise your head, square your shoulders, and return to your life as someone who has been sent rather than dismissed. I am within you to enable you, in front of you to guide, and behind you to protect. You won't walk alone on any of the upcoming days. Not one. I've said something and it doesn't come back to me empty. It completes the task I give it. I sent it out today to locate you, turn you, and get you standing with your back to the horizon. It has accomplished this. Go ahead and accompany me on a step walk from this hour to every hour I have planned. If you are prepared to get up and accompany me into everything I have planned for you, say, I receive it. Before we get to the end of this powerful story, let's reflect on this deep truth. You did not find this message by accident. This is a divine appointment meant specifically for you. You are being invited into a protected faith-filled community at the link in the description and pinned comment. A place where divine abundance is not just a hope but a promise built on the Word. By heading to the site right now, you are unlocking access to a sacred community of like-minded believers. When you join our membership tiers, you gain immediate entry to powerful content, daily devotions, and divine insights that are hidden from the world. This is your chance to enter a sanctuary where you will receive spiritual guidance, unwavering support on our prayer wall, and speedy progress toward your destiny. Do not let this moment of destiny pass you by. Your breakthrough is waiting. Join our inner circle through the exclusive link in the description. This is how you guarantee you never miss the personalized messages and spiritual warfare tools meant to elevate your life. If you feel called to deepen your connection, the link is waiting for you in both the pinned comment and the description. For those who want to amplify this work and carry the light home, you can find our guided ebooks and Bibles in the pinned comment. Whether you join as a member or sow a seed through our resources, your presence and energy change the world. Take the step. Your abundance awaits. You are about to enter your divine future. But remember, this breakthrough is not for you alone. Your testimony is the bridge someone else will use to reach their own miracle. Archangel Michael is inviting you to visit community through the link in the description or the pinned comment. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community, does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. By joining our like-minded community, you are no longer praying in isolation. You are adding your voice to a global sanctuary where we discuss the Word daily and stand in the gap for one another. This is not poetry when Jesus says, "Give and heaven will open over you." On this platform, every seed you plant turns into oil for your destiny, fire for your calling, and a hedge of safety for your family. Now is your time. Step into our community prayer wall. Share your heart, and as you give, watch God multiply what you let go of. Let's finish this journey together. Visit our community now. Join the family and see your heavens.